Ark Raiders, the game that took the world by storm last year. Everyone seemed to be playing it and praising it, but I actually never gave it a shot. Now, almost 8 months after the release, I'm about to change that. In this video, I will find out if the hype was deserved and see for myself what the experience is like for a brand new player jumping in for the first time. My journey started on a map called Damn Battlegrounds. After loading in, I was not exactly sure what to do. I'm not completely new to extraction shooters. I played Marathon before, so I understood the basic idea. What I didn't know was where I was supposed to go. So basically, I just ended up running around, picking up occasional loot I saw. Finally, I encountered my first Ark in a real match. The fight wasn't that difficult, but right as I was about to destroy it, a new problem emerged. Something suddenly took almost all of my health. My first thought was that it was another player, but I had no idea where he was. I hid behind a nearby pillar and healed. At first, my hiding spot seemed to be working, but he repositioned, which let him hit another shot. In panic, I tried to run away, but I had no cover during that, so he managed to knock me down with his last shot. And that marked my first death, of many. I got back in the lobby and spent my first skill point in this pretty big skill tree. I picked my loadout and queued into my second game. I spawned at the bottom of this building, so I went up to take a look at my surroundings. There, I walked across this ledge to its very end, where I heard a suspicious alarm-like sound. I was wondering where it came from, until I noticed a turret slowly turning my way. My first idea was to destroy it, so I attacked it. Turrets in this game are designed to be strong at range, so fighting it up close made it super easy. Until I fell. So this was how I thought I died for a second time, but somehow I survived. Turns out you can actually outlive quite a big fall in this game. I healed and continued on my way. After walking a few meters, I ran into a POI that finally had something to loot. I filled my pockets and decided it's time to extract. For those unfamiliar with the extraction genre, let me briefly explain what it means. In this game, whatever you have in your inventory when you extract from the match, you get to keep in your stash. Things like materials or recyclables are used mainly for upgrades, trading or crafting. Some items like weapons, consumables and shields can be put in your loadout before a match, so you don't go in with empty hands. However, if you die, you also lose everything you have currently on you, including the things that you brought in. And I hope that won't happen to me this time, considering I had some good stuff on me. But there was an Ark enemy in my way, so I figured, why not kill it? I had no problem dealing with it last time. Well, I was surprised to find out this wasn't the Hornet I fought before, but a Firefly. And if you play the game, you know how much stronger Firefly is. And because of the terrible decision, I died for a second time. Surely, I'd learn from this, right? We should probably skip the third game, as I died very quickly from this large Ark, but the fourth game is where some really interesting things happened. Shortly after the match started, I heard distant gunshots, which meant only one thing: enemy players. I wanted to finally get some PvP action, so I ran towards the sound in the hopes of finding someone. When I got there, I couldn't find any trace of other players, so I was really surprised to hear it was another player, and it seemed like he wanted to be friendly. I couldn't even see where he was, but I decided that if he showed himself, I wouldn't shoot. Coming into this game, one of the only things I knew was how unique the community and in-game interactions are. From what I'd heard, many players in this game are friendly and willing to team up against Ark enemies. I knew I wanted to fight, but working with other raiders was also an interesting experience. I was close to an extraction point, so I figured I would use it. I didn't even know how exactly it worked, so when the gate started opening, I didn't even realize someone else activated it. As soon as I got inside, a player started shooting at me. Maybe not everyone in the lobby was friendly after all. First, I needed to heal. I went to the top of the building and threw a smoke under me. I used my first bandage, but right after I almost used my second one, he found me. We were blindly shooting at each other, and luckily, I hit way more shots. I went inside, not expecting him to be there, but I caught him while he was reloading, which helped me secure my first kill. I didn't know that activating the terminal would set me back to Speranza in just 5 seconds. So when I did use it, I had no time to loot the defeated player. Still, this was my first successful raid. At the time of recording, there were 5 maps in total. You unlock a new one every 6th round. After 2 more deaths on the first map, I finally unlocked Buried City. My luck in damn battlegrounds wasn't exactly the best, but I was ready to turn it around. My first impressions of the new map were really good. I enjoyed the layout of the map, especially its verticality. For example, there are areas packed with houses, between which you can parkour or travel using ziplines. One ride even cost me what would have otherwise been a successful run. But I still didn't give up. My stash was looking pretty thin though, so I had to enter with a free loadout. As the name may suggest, you can use it as many times as you want for free, and it gives you the most basic things you need for your run. The weapons are always random, but not all of them are bad. This time, for example, I got the Pharaoh. I had never used it before, but once I found out it's a single-shot battle rifle, I knew this is exactly the thing for me. I spent my first few minutes of the round scouting the area until I noticed a fire in a window of one building. That meant someone was there. I patiently waited until he left the apartment building. My first shot broke his shields, and the second left him with only a small amount of health. Yet he was still alive and now behind cover. I chased him down to finish what I started. Soon I caught up with him, but instead of one, there were 2 players. And the second one just saw my kill. I was not gonna let it slide, so he became my next target. I left him pretty low, but he managed to lose me. Still, I heard him fighting with arcs, so I knew he was in the area. I entered the house and headed upstairs to get a better view of my surroundings. I hadn't even reached the top floor when I heard him knock out a player, meaning he was right below me, and the rest played out like this. The loot from them was solid, although at the time I didn't know what to pick and what to leave behind. After I was done looting them, I headed straight to extract. It all went smoothly, and I was safely back to Speranza. I even had enough materials to install 2 new stations. These are one of the main progression systems in this game. Basically, each one of them costs a specific amount of items to unlock, and once you pay them, you have access to more advanced and powerful crafting recipes. You can upgrade them even further to have access to even better gear. I started the next run by killing a few arcs and generally just looting the area. Soon, I heard gunshots very close to me, so of course I had to check them out. To my surprise, it was not just one player, but 2, and one of them just killed the other. I took advantage of the situation and fired the first shot at him. He ran away, but I took a different route and caught up with him very quickly. I rushed him because he was slow. It was a bad decision. I got caught in the open and lost my health advantage. Even worse, I had only 1 bandage left. I retreated further, but he damaged me even more. Now I really had no other choice but to hide on the upper floor. I was there for quite a while, until something completely unexpected happened. I think the raider from before was waiting on me, because he knew I was still there, but now he was dead, and the new raider had no idea about me. So I quietly made my way down the stairs and caught him by surprise. He tried to run away, but thanks to the route I'd taken earlier, I reached the exit first and knocked him down. I looted both players and extracted. After Buried City, the next big step was Spaceport. This was the point where I felt like I was finally starting to understand the game and experience more of what it had to offer. But I'm skipping ahead. The next raid started like normal. I spawned, looted and killed a few arcs. And as usual, I eventually heard some gunshots. This time though, some of them sounded different, as if they were coming from a giant machine gun. And they kept going. I wondered what could it be. So I followed the sound to investigate. Soon enough I got my answer. It was Bastion, the biggest and strongest enemy I'd faced so far. My first idea was just to ignore it and attack the players that were shooting at it on top of the building. But as I was getting there, I changed my mind. What if, instead of fighting with them, I helped them take this arc down? So I did just that. To be honest, I didn't really know what I was doing. But the Bastion was already pretty damaged, so it went down soon after.
Go loot it.
Then it was time to loot it.
Hello guys. Hello.
Several players gathered peacefully to collect loot from the destroyed Bastion. I took what I thought was valuable, and when there was nothing left, we went to the nearest extraction site and returned to Speranza. Up to this point, I hadn't tried a night raid once. Going in, I only knew what the description told me. It was more dangerous, but the loot was better. The first few minutes weren't that different. I did the usual stuff, and soon enough, I saw someone getting close to me. I didn't attack him, and this time, it proved to be a good decision. He was friendly and helped me take down arcs. He even explained some enemy types to me when I was unfamiliar with their abilities.
That one's for the bombardier. If it puts a yellow laser, it's going to put the bombardier will fire at that.
Soon, we split up and I had to continue on my journey alone. My first stop was Launch Towers, the highest point on this map. When I got inside, there was a dead body on the ground floor, which raised suspicion in me, but there were no other signs of an enemy raider. I checked the area one more time and then went to the top of the tower. Turns out there actually was someone, judging by the gunshots coming from the next room. I was still feeling friendly, so I tried talking to him, but he chose violence. To be honest, I got extremely lucky there. He could have downed me with just one more hit, but he missed both shots. I knew this was my chance, so I popped a bandage and waited for him at the bottom. I barely won. When I took a look at what he had, I was pleasantly surprised to find Legendary Jupiter, my first weapon of that rarity. Now I was really afraid of dying with this inventory, so my best bet was to extract as soon as possible. The top of the tower proved to be useful, because I could easily scout which extraction sites were safe. When I found one that didn't seem too dangerous, I marked the location and went on my way. It wasn't long before trouble showed up. Just on my way to the bottom floor, I ran into another player. I wasn't willing to risk anything, so I attacked him and eventually downed him. He was talking in the voice chat, but I noticed he was not the only one. There was another player nearby. I really did not want to die, so I went to the top again to get an advantage in case he tried to attack me. I hid there for some time, and he never showed up. Now the question was he waiting for me? Time was running out, so eventually I had to go down. At first, it seemed clear, just a few arcs to fight. Well, the worst case scenario happened. My best option was to run outside. It did not help that the Hornet was still alive and targeting me. And to make things even worse, my shield just lost all its remaining duration, meaning I couldn't even recharge it. I knew I couldn't keep running forever, so finally I faced the arc. Against all odds, I managed to survive and destroy the Hornet. I was a little nervous about where the player who attacked me could be. I kept looking for him until I heard and then saw some friendly players. I figured I would be safer with them, so I followed them to the extraction point. Luckily, nothing else went wrong and I was safely back in the lobby. This felt like a good ending point for this video, so now it's time to answer the question: is this game actually good? I would definitely say yes. I enjoyed most aspects of the game. The combat felt really good, the weapons I tried all felt different from each other, and the arc enemies were designed very well, with each one of them requiring different approach. But what made the game stand out to me the most was the social aspect. In most games, it's clear who your enemies and allies are. Extraction games are different. You can decide on your own if you want to fight real players, but most of the times, you still end up shooting everyone on sight. Not in Arc Raiders though. You are never certain about what kind of person you are dealing with and what their intentions are. Some may stay friendly the whole time, some will betray you the first chance they get, and some will attack you immediately. And that, for me, created the most memorable moments of my journey. Overall, I would definitely say that the game is really good, and I think it deserved its hype. If you enjoyed the video, consider subscribing, and I'll see you on the next one.